The best TUR by far, but is there a wrong way to build the new Teq Buuhan? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Dokkan Festival Teq Buuhan and trying to figure out what exactly is the best hidden potential for him, because he is actually one of those units where I don't really think there's a wrong way to build him. Let's hop on in by taking a look at what he is doing. So he is a power absorption transformation boost category key 3, HP attack defense 170%, and he gets an additional 30% for uncontrollable power or artificial life forms. His super attack effect while in Buuhan is greatly raising attack defense for 1 turn, causing immense damage to the enemy. While in Buuhan, he is getting key 2, attack defense 200%, guarding all attacks, and gets an additional 58% when attacking. He also gets an additional 100% attack defense and high chance for a critical hit for 6 turns. Now we want to hold on to that high chance to critical hit for 6 turns, because that's going to come back later. He also has a 50% chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, and launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack, starting from the 7th turn from the start of battle. He also has an additional attack and chance to perform a critical hit 50%, and extreme class allies key 2 and attack and defense 50% when there's another power absorption or transformation boost ally attacking in the same turn. And the more HP he has remaining when receiving an attack for the first time in the turn, the greater his additional defense boost within the turn, up to 150%. Now he can activate a domain, which will transform him into the Super Boo as long as you have all power absorption characters on the turn, or from the 6th turn. Now once that is activated, it will give 30% to all power absorption transformation boost characters who are also on Majin Buu Saga. Otherwise, just 15% who are not on Majin Buu Saga. So with that in mind, we can go ahead and hop on over to his transform state. So his transform state is the Super Boo. He is now massively stacking attack infinitely, or at least as much as you can get in the 2 turns that you have him out. He now has key 6 and attack defense 300%, plus an additional 100% when attacking. 70% damage reduction, changes HCL to tech key spheres, and an additional 40% when receiving an attack, and chance for a critical hit 5% per key sphere obtained. He also launches an additional super attack with 3 or more key spheres obtained, and launches an additional super attack with 6 or more key spheres obtained. And then he launches an additional super attack when there's a fused fighters enemy, right? So that's 1 super, 2 supers, 3 supers, 4 supers right there, meaning he can do a possibility of 5 supers in a turn, as well as recover HP at the end of all of that. So he's honestly pretty good, and he's doing a little bit of everything. So if we want to go ahead and navigate over here, I'm going to show you guys my hidden potential build here. So this is my hidden potential build for the Buuhan. I've got 22 additionals based on the additional skill orbs that I could put in. So I put in full additionals and then filled out the rest of the skill orbs with what additionals I have. Obviously, you want level 5s to get you actually up to 30, but you know, we took what we could get. So 22 was the best I could do here, because I only had a level 3 in the silver slot. So I also went critical hit in the secondary effect. Now I'm gonna explain why I did that here in a second. So let's flip back over to the hidden potential on the Dokkan Wiki, and I can kind of explain why I felt this was best necessary. So if we look at the hidden potential thing, right, as a tech type unit, he kind of has some natural crit built in, right? That 5 crit, which means if we had fully invested, he would have had a 40 to 50% chance. But that's not what we didn't do. Instead, we went to get 20 to give us a 40% chance, trying to push for that 25 to give us that 50% chance. Or I'm sorry, 30% chance to give us that 40% chance. So we did try to get up. We are trying to push it there as much as we can. So with that in mind, Um, Knowing that he needs the additionals to stack up his attack when in his base form, that is the priority, right? Additionals is the priority for him. He needs that to get as many stacks as he can, because not only is he going to do a bunch of damage while transformed into the Super Buu, once he comes out of the Super Buu, he's going to do a whole lot of damage, right? We're talking floating anywhere between, especially because it's probably turn 6 to turn 7 by the time you get to that point, with both domains ended, or at least one of them ending. That means he'll be launching additional attacks, and he'll be doing anywhere from, anywhere from 26 to 29 million I've seen on the low end. Now, as far as his sub, right, your options are evasion and critical hit. And here's the thing, right? For me personally, I feel that the critical hit is a bigger necessity. Not because he needs it in the early stages, right? In the early stages, he doesn't need it because he has the chance to crit built in, right? If we look over here, right, if we remember, he has the chance to crit built in for 6 turns. But after that 6 turns, which is when your domain has expired usually, then he has no crit whatsoever. And that's the point where his attack is going to be not necessarily, well, yeah, I mean, pretty much at its greatest, right? He's post-domain, he's fully built up. You've probably got the other Buu's domain up. You want to be taking advantage of that critical hit. So I feel like he needs to have the critical hit for that portion. He doesn't need it for the Super Buu, or because you get critical hit for Keith's Obtain there, and he doesn't need it in his first couple of turns. He also has a built-in chance to evasion, 50% chance to evasion at that point as well. So to me, knowing that he has that built-in chance for evasion, he doesn't really need it in his attack. He doesn't really need it anyways, because again, by the point you would need something else, he's already got the evasion built into him. It's only 50% chance, but I mean, it's still like, if he didn't have that and you invested the additional evasion into him, you're still only getting 15%. So honestly, I don't even think it's necessary. And having run him a multitude of times, right, he's tanking just about everything anyways, right? His Super Buu form isn't getting touched by any current content, and then once the domain is up and he's fully built up, he's, post super, he's not taking much anyways either. So critical hit for me is the best way to go for the sub, just to make up for that little bit of crit that you're not going to have past turn 6 and turn 7. So guys, that is it. Real simple video on this one. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know what potential build did you go with the Teq Buuhan. I know it seems a little crazy to go critical hit, but again, I do feel like it is the best for him, given how his passive works out. But I don't necessarily think you're wrong if you choose to go sub dodge, because again, like I said, he can kind of work any way you want him to. He's one of those few where there's no wrong build. So just let us know what you did in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.